G'day, mate, and welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. So, we've got gear production running, and I should really replace this combinator, set them up, and put that train that we don't need anymore. Power running modules. But I was thinking that I've got to build a pretty standard 8 beacon setup. But maybe I can push the limits and we can do a 12 beacon setup. So I've come out here to just the middle of nowhere. Just see if it's even possible to get the plate out fast enough, because that's really the limiting factor. Because that's what I'd love to do. I'd love to do 4 in, plate out. Substation in the corner to power up. Buy bots. No, missing outright. Let's give me a little bit of copper ore. No. Yes and no. So we're moving 4.5 items per minute, which now means this combination's great, but a long-handed inserter can only do 3.4 items. So we're doing 4.5 items per second. A long-handed inserter can only do 3.4 items per second. Okay. So I can move all you guys down ones and in ones. Try that again. Okay. I can. Beacons are such a large item. Those again. This is the joy of trial and error. Lots of trial, and I make lots of errors. Those. Yes. I'm trying to get extra speed out of this so I can get this closer to a however many to 1 ratio, and even with the extra beacon coverage, it can't be done. All right, so that was that poor idea finished. Any of these I need to pick up? Put stone in. How are you handling stone? You're filling boxes with stone that are now full. That's an logical suggestion. Little patch. Both pulling. Oh. Okay, nothing I can do there except let it run. Getting jack of that blueprint, it just doesn't work more often than it does. Go. What's it? Go at that. Because this end will always clog up with stone. This end doesn't matter. Okay. So you're dealing with stone. Miners still have shit tons to go. Alright. Back to the problem at hand. Which is how in hell do we make another 27,000? That's the numbers we're looking at. 7,000 iron ore. Iron plate. What do we do, Steve? Let's do something. Train, come back. Wait. Try to shrink the roboport network because the robots are starting getting laggy. Basically, means every now and then I strip off a row of roboports here, and every now and then I come down here, put down more blueprints of solar. Because as you can see, now power keeps going up. Fairly quickly. There, I just gotta keep these bots active. Just place. That. Landfill that. Southern side that. Rip up everything we can see. That'll mark all the cliffs for deconstruction. Yay, cliff explosives. Oop. What? Really? I do love this one. Okay. Problem sorted. Alright. Let's try a steel build. Mods? Really? Okay. Alright. We already know we can't do a 12 beacons for smelters. For iron, just because we can't get the iron in and out fast enough without going a little bit overboard with the inserters. So steel's going to be much the same. Now we all remember steel is technically a 1-to-1 ratio. Actually, let's do this different. I came up with on the Factorio server. Copy that, because no, that's a about the big. Put that I'll do. Alright, so steel's what we're going to work on. Steel we need... Oh, get this. We need power. We need... For 3,000 science packs per minute, we need 32,000 steel, which means we need 830 furnaces. 830. So on the Factorio server, I came up slightly. Did go 8B. Let's see whether we can get. This is the joys of me not blueprinting anything. I have to rebuild something from. Nope, that's not work. Furnace, right there. Crafting speed 9. Crafting speed 12. Wrong button. Wrong one. Number of sources. That's the one I'm looking for. 12. So that is a 12 beacon setup right there. Put one of those in there. Let's go out at that note. Let's go in at that end. Into there. Then another furnace. Turn that side. Grab our beacon. Don't go there. Run out of room. Copy that. This beacon coverage. So this is just inside beacon coverage. We can see it's still got number of effects sources 14, 14. Okay. Yeah. Bring the power along outside. Alright, that's 12. Number of effects sources 12. That's 14. Effects source 9. Beacon 12. 14. 14. 14. So that there is a very, very scary, very, very condensed 12 beacon layout. Robot ports. If we put iron ore in here. 200. Overkill, but you know. Deal. Okay, so we put iron ore in here. Where the weirdness is. So we put iron ore in here and in here. As you can see, these are both just inside the network. We then turn iron ore into iron plate, which has a 20% productivity bonus. We then put that into a chest, and then the excess will then take out of a buffer chest and put into the electric furnace. Now, a buffer chest being a buffer chest means it's happy to, we can either request iron plate in or take iron plate out, right? Just by setting the conditions. memory. I can also read the contents and set the request. Can't do both at the same time. Alright, one thing at a time. So that's a steel build, which gives us two technically furnaces that we can count towards our total. Now we need 32,000 steel. Do I haven't unticked something? No, we need 32,000 steel, which means we only need 582.4 furnaces. That's two. The other two don't count. Yay, us. Alright. Power this up. Power. Yeah. Bar power. Early power. Done. Because it's steel, it's fairly low on the bot traffic. We can really start at the very edge. Okay, wait. Now, for those of you guys who watched the Factorio event, in the end, and even better if you actually played in the Factorio event, that's the hub. There, rip those up. There it is. Train, come back to me. Technically, get this build. I need. Okay. So I need lots of stuff. I need all of those and all of those, and I'm probably going to need those. I need airports, blue chest, photos, probably substations as well. iBots. Where's the halfway point? Halfway point's one further over. I need this chest on this side, that inserted on that. Copy and grab that copy, paste. Ah, one tile too big. Okay, so now I've got all of that done. Whole thing is one giant unit. Now you're right on the edge on that side, and you've got many. Pass off the top plate. Go see what I'm doing. Oh. Beacon? Come on, pick up all that crap. Thank you. Paste that down the bottom. Pick up the bottom half. Literally pick up everything except the very top row. Paste it straight back. This is why we have a power armor with lots and lots of batteries. Because, oh my robot. Come on, I do need robots to fly faster. That'd be nice. Alright, so beacons. I don't know, let's start with beacons. Beacons. Putting sodas on me. Let's. Short on sodas, I'm short on beacons, I'm short on those. Very close to being out of green nests. Alright. It also means the top row could potentially get rid of my super large blueprint and dump it straight back down. It's already been optimized for the north and the south. The east and the west side, so technically. Place, my bots, place! Work harder! Okay. At the end of the day, that is 22... That's 48 furnaces. We need 500. I need beacon. Don't need. Turns out. I need. Inverters. Substations. So it's just beacons and lots of mods. Good news. Go get more. Okay. So we have, what did I say? That we had 2244. Calculator, keep that for a second. So we need 500. What is it? Still 583 divided by 44 means we need 13.25 of these built. 44 multiplied by 13. I don't really want to squeeze an extra 10 in it, these build. Give an extra 1. If I put 1 in each extra build, that would it work? Yeah, it's easier just to have 14 of these build. We're still going to have to route trains. I got to get route trains. I got to route iron ore in. Actually, that's... If it just... It just... I'm trying to get the calculator. Iron ore I need. Okay, that'll give me a rough number. It's not going to be a perfect. Way too. Multiple calculators. Actually, you know what? You know what? Okay. Let's go empty these beacons. And whilst the train's attempting to refill again. Actually do the maths the old-fashioned way. Buy beacons. Buy modules. Do we get any prod mods in that train trip? Oh. Okay. No, up here is where we're doing. So we need one of these. Run 22 of these. Per minute. Oh, it's only 4,000 iron ore per minute. That's actually really not that bad. It means one tiny little train every minute. What a halfway to. Well, I know it's really not. I don't know. This is the current build, and you know what? I'm actually I'm gonna leave the episode here with this is the current build. Will we modify it? Possibly. Possibly. We might make the whole build bigger. By the same token, we might just leave it as is. Because it's sometimes more efficient to have a small build that runs flat out. The train runs hardly ever. But I could always have a train that pops through essentially 10 of these stations and picks up... Really? B? Yeah. It's always possible to have a steel train itself run through 13 of these stations, pick up steel from each one of them. So at the end, I get a full train every however many minutes, and it just goes through and picks up steel from each and every station, you know, in a long row. Meanwhile, all the iron ore trains come in separate. That's another possibility. We will see. We will see. Anyway, I'm going to leave this episode here. This is the blueprint for steel smelting. It's about as optimized as you can get it. Okay? We're bringing ore as close to, you know, the train tracks as possible. Technically, I guess I could spin these. It might make a difference. It probably won't. We are buffering our excess plate. Now, the excess plate... the excess plate, I will end up... And it won't happen until we get the final builds done. But I'll end up putting in an extra train station on the north or the south, which will set each... I don't know. Because what I want to do is I only want the buffer chest to actually release their cargo, i.e. the iron plate, if there's more than 100 in the chest. But there's no real way to do that currently. And if I set requests, which I can do via a circuit network, the problem is bots don't move something from a buffer chest to another buffer chest. So that doesn't really help me either. I'm going to do... yeah, that doesn't really help me either. But the idea is to put a bonus station in top and bottom. And we can pull the excess plate out of this network occasionally. Not all the time, but... Actually, we can count how much iron plates in the network via a robo-pull. Because they're in buffer chests that they show up on the network. So because we can count how many is in there, we can always have a station that only turns on if there's a ridiculous amount. Say 30,000 iron plate in here. Then have a train swing in and pick up a train load, however much that is, out of this network, so we don't end up with too much iron plate in here. Just to sort of boost other parts of the base where and when needed. It's a thought. It's a concept. I haven't put it in practice yet, but that's the end plan. It's something I wanted to set up on the Factorio servers, but I just didn't get time. And by the time I finally did get time, the build had been duplicated 48 times on 3 different servers. So that just became a giant... Oh, that's way too much effort. You know, I'd have to fix the first one, which is then means the second, the build beside it needs to be ripped up and moved over 5 tiles, because nobody left any space, to then repeat that all the way down the line, and then repeat that on 2 more servers. Yeah, plus. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys for watching. As always, thoughts, comments, suggestions, all that sort of fun stuff down in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next episode. All right, that's it. Bye!